Talking men's soccer on Cards TV with head coach Ken Lola. I'm Sean Moth. Great to see you again as always. We're set to embark upon another campaign. It's hard to believe the summer has evaporated, but that's where we're at. Coach, it's good to see you. Welcome back.
Thanks, Sean.
Let's roll back to the summer and start where I don't know that any other coach at any other level can start, and that's talking about the children's book that you wrote along with your family. That's been quite an experience for you guys, and it's a great story, and I know a lot of our viewers have probably followed along, but for those that haven't, fill us in a little bit on the genesis of that event.
Well, it all started in a story I told Tyler when he was young. Tyler is now 15 years old, but you know, when we put him to bed at night, we would tell him stories. They'd ask to tell stories, and Tina and I felt the need to tell them stories that had some meaning to it, some purpose, and some principles. And I made up a story that was one of his favorites, and we continue to tell it to the other kids as well. And there was a point where Tina said, you know, at least for our own posterity's sake, for our own kids' legacy, we need to put that in a book, so that's passed down from generation to generation. Well, it ended up growing a little bit, and to a point where we knew we were going to publish the book. And this summer, some things aligned. We partnered with some people that allowed us to publish the book, and we're really excited because you know, the response has been very positive. It's a great, I think it's a great story because there's wonderful meaning in it, and not only for, you know, young kids, but kids that are learning to read. I think there's a great benefit in it.
The title, I believe, is Finding Your Gifts, and you've had the opportunity to watch your teams as a coach and even as a player storm the field in celebration of a conference title or hear the national anthem at a national championship game. How did those emotions compare to when somebody handed you the copy of that book and you got to see that first published copy? I mean, I have to imagine there maybe were some similarities, but obviously some differences too.
You know, it was a process to get there, and there were many steps that you know, Tina and I reflect on and say, oh my, you know, this is happening. You know, it's really happening. And we had the vision to begin with of it happening and what it would look like. And each step as it you know, progressed, were some special moments. And I think the most special was actually when we and we were fortunate enough to print it locally. And the people that Clark and Riggs that did it for us are wonderful people. They helped us through the process, but they actually let us come in and see it coming off the press.
Oh, wow.
So we had our whole family there, and seeing it come off the press was a special moment. And then we get in the car, and I'm driving back with Elijah. And Elijah looks at me, and the main character in the story is Tyler, because as I told that first story, Tyler was the main character.
Absolutely.
So he looks at me and says, Dad, he says, will you help me write my story?
Oh, excellent.
And I said, absolutely, Elijah. And then he said, do you think people will want to read it?
Wow.
And I said, of course they will.
Yeah.
So now I have at least 2 more books now because of Christiana and Elijah. But that moment in itself, that empowering that he had the ability to write his own story and that people would want to benefit and could benefit from it was so powerful. So there's a lot of people that said that they've enjoyed the story and the message has been great, and those moments when we see things like that, it's all worth it.
That's fantastic. As we talk about great moments for you as a coach, I know you appreciate seeing players move on and play professionally, and this last year offered you the opportunity to see a number of your players not only do that, but at a very high level. And I think this week marks a week that Austin Berry and Nick DeLeon and their 2 clubs in D.C. and Chicago will meet each other. It has to be fun for you and for the program. I know a lot of our fans take a lot of pride in that.
It is, and the most important thing we do is help kids reach their potential, is help them get to a place that maybe they weren't even sure they can get to, but dreamed about. And, you know, for us to help them develop and, you know, reach everything that they can become and realize their dreams, for us is special, is really wonderful. And To see Austin and Nick do so very well, both of those guys are now in the running for Rookie of the Year. And they're not only playing, they're significant within their team. They're playing significant roles. And along with that, you look at Kenny Walker, who's getting some time, and I know Colin Roth has yet to crack that first, but he's had a wonderful experience. He's growing quite a bit, and you throw into that, you know, Freddie Braun, who's seen first-team action as well. So we have a lot of guys that are moving on, and we know more that we have right now that will move on as well. But, you know, again, the fulfillment of what we do as coaches is simply helping them reach their potential and move on.
And while it's maybe a little ethnocentric in our followings, I know Aaron Clapham certainly made some waves back in his native New Zealand as well. So a lot of good things to talk about. Let's talk about this year's squad. With the big MLS splash, certainly left some holes in your lineup to fill in terms of starters, and I don't think that's something you're necessarily concerned about. It's kind of a reload situation. You've had 3 exhibitions to see the team. You're able to get victories over UAB, Wisconsin, and Lipscomb. Talk about the preseason in general and how things have gone for you and the team.
It's been tremendously productive. We have continued to grow with each outing and each time we play. UAB was a quick one, and we were only 2 days. We had 2 full days of training before we played them, but it was hugely beneficial because of what we gained from it. And then when we played Wisconsin further into preseason, I thought we were a little bit more prepared. We played better. And this last one against Lipscomb played very well, especially on the attacking end. You can see the rhythm of play for us continue to get better with each game, and our concerted effort from a defending standpoint continues to get better. So we have felt like the preseason's been very productive. We've gotten a lot out of it, and excited about the group we have and the potential that they have, but understand still there's a lot of growth in them.
Sure. Certainly some exciting things ahead for the team. They will open the 2012 season on the road. It's an intriguing matchup. Maryland was the number 5 seed in the round of 64 last year in the tournament. You were the 12 seed. You met, and you upset them to take yourselves to the Elite Eight. So in College Park on Sunday, I'm sure that intrigue will not be lost on their behalf in terms of the Terrapins beating the Cards. But for you and the team, I know it's an opportunity for you to play the game of soccer.
You know, Maryland's one of the great places to play college soccer games. I give Sasho and Maryland a lot of credit for the environment they've created there. Even when I was back at Akron, we love to take our kids there because, quite honestly, it's a bit of a hostile environment.
Sure.
They get a lot of people out, and the experience of playing college soccer games in an environment like that is wonderful. We know for us being a young group that game is going to be so valuable. It's one of the reasons why we scheduled it. Is we'll find out real quick where we're at, and we're excited about that. It's a wonderful opportunity for us to go on a road and experience that.
As an old ACC member, it date back a few times. I'm sure that you've been to College Park and seen the Terrapins, so we'll look forward to that. Wish you safe travel. Best of luck with the team.
Thank you very much, Sean.
We'll be talking every week. We're looking forward to it. For Coach, we appreciate it. Talk next week.